So lads, this is not the usual start of a career mode episode on this channel, and there's a reason for that. This is a disclaimer for the episode that you are about to watch. I have been feeling very, very sick the last 6 or 7 days, and oh my god, it has just gotten worse. I thought at times I was feeling better, but then the next day it's like, oh no, I actually feel 10 times worse. I've had a pounding headache, my throat is very dry, I can barely get through a sentence without having to stop and, compose myself. My eyes are watering up like mad. It's not been a very fun time. In this episode, I am in the absolute horrors, and I actually say about halfway through it that, lads, I probably should have addressed this at the start, but I'm not feeling well. So I was like, yeah, I better actually address it before uploading this episode, that the commentary in this is not very good. Because of that, I've slightly tweaked the schedule for uploading this week. So this episode is going up on Monday, but to allow myself a bit of recovery time, I'm not going to upload an episode on Tuesday. There will be one on Wednesday and Thursday as normal, and originally I wasn't going to do an episode on Friday, but to make up for the lack of upload on Tuesday, there will now be an episode on Friday, if that makes sense. I feel like I might have overcomplicated that. Basically, no episode Tuesday, there is on Friday. I did obviously say as well last week that I have another video planned for this Friday, which is slightly, away from the Celtic career mode. That is also still being uploaded. That'll be up at around 12 o'clock, and the Celtic career mode will be uploaded at the normal time of 7 o'clock. So yeah, I appreciate your understanding, and I apologize for the terrible commentary you're about to hear, but I did need to get that out there before putting up this episode. So yeah, I'm going to take a bit of a break for Tuesday, and I'll be back fresh and ready to go again for Wednesday. So with that said, thank you all for the support as always, and I hope you enjoy this episode of the Celtic career mode, but let's just say the commentary may not be as good as it has been in previous episodes. Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Celtic FC 25 career mode. Before we get into anything to do with gameplay, before we discuss anything about what games we're going to be showing on this episode, I wanted to quickly update you here on the Youth Academy for two reasons. One, I want to keep you in the loop, and secondly, there is a certain region that we're scouting in that I wanted to give a little bit of a shout out to. So yeah, let's get on with it. So the first region obviously we're scouting in is Ireland. We are currently managing Ireland as well as Celtic, so I want to make sure that we still are, bringing in the next generation of Irish players. I highlighted 4 positions here that I felt like still need a bit of improvement when it comes to, developing young players. So I felt like centre-back, left-back, centre-mid and another winger, or more wingers, are the positions that needed the most attention in the Irish squad. I do wish you could scout any position though. I hate how they've removed that feature from the game, and I do have a video coming up soon about the things I like about career mode this year and some of the things that I don't like about career mode this year. So yeah, stay tuned for that. That'll probably be available next week. But Ireland of course will be scouting in the whole time, and then we've picked 2 new regions here where I have never ever scouted before. This year, EA have finally allowed us to scout in more countries and regions than ever before. I mean, only a few years ago, you weren't able to scout in bloody Wales. Never mind the 2 nations that we've picked here. So, I wanted to take advantage of that. I wanted to see what talent we might be able to find in countries that you haven't always been able to scout in, and these are the 2 that I've picked. Fiji. Listen, anytime I see an athlete from Fiji, they're an absolute unit. So I thought, why not try and get a centre-back from the Fiji Islands? Anytime I saw them play rugby, they just had some of the most imposing figures on their team, and I think that would be a cool addition to our squad if we had some Fiji players there playing at centre-back. So even though it's our lowest rated scout, hopefully we might be able to find a few gems from Fiji. And then with this region, I wanted to give you a bit of a shout out. So I was looking at some of the analytics of the channel in recent times, and everyone who's been subscribed to the channel recently, any new subscribers, you are more than welcome to the channel. But this region here is now the 2nd highest region when it comes to where my channel and my videos are being watched. Second only to the UK is Myanmar or Myanmar. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I'm not going to lie, I had never heard of this country before until I saw it on the analytics. I looked up how to pronounce it, and it was two different pronunciations of the country. So in the comments, you can let me know. But regardless of that, I really, really appreciate the support from this region, and let's hope we can find some talent from that country that can be implemented into the team. But with all that said, we have some big games coming up, not just in the league, but also in the Champions League. We're only 2 points clear of Rangers in the Scottish League, but I do think that we will kick on and make that lead even bigger. But in the Champions League, we are struggling. We've just had 2 bad results against Liverpool and Monaco. We need to start getting some more wins. Even the game we did win against Malmo, it wasn't very convincing, and we do have one of the best teams in Europe to play in just a couple of games' time, which will probably be in the next episode. So the next 2 games in the Champions League, which will both be played in full on this episode, for me, they're both must win. So without further ado, let's get into the highlights of the first game, and then we will address the standings at the moment. So we start off here with the game against Hearts away from home. Not a great start to the game, unfortunately going 1-0 down there. Defensively, quite poor. Brooks should have gotten in the way of that, but to be fair, he had a grueling Hell in a Cell match not too long ago, so he's probably still recovering from that. If you know, you know. But Furuhashi was here to cancel out Vargas's opener. Great ball by Santos after a great run. Don't care if it's sweaty. A goal is a goal. That got us the equaliser and put us on our way to going in front right before half time. When Ryan Sessegnon, I thought I would have gotten a few more goals with him by now at this stage of the career mode. But this was his first goal of the season. And the more I think about it, this might actually be the first goal I've ever scored with him. I'm not sure if I scored a goal with him last year. I can't really remember. But it's definitely his first goal of this season, and it gave us the lead right on the stroke of half time. And then 5 minutes into the second half, Hatate, it's done really well there. Beautiful finish into that bottom corner after holding up the play. A brilliant ball in as well. Lovely finish. And I thought, game, set and match surely. But no, just 8 minutes later, Vargas got his second goal of the game and Hart's second goal of the game. A terrible mistake by Pullison, I have to say. I think he should be saving that. The slippery conditions must have affected the handling of that shot, but unfortunately he wasn't able to keep it out. But thankfully it didn't cost us anything in the end. It was merely a consolation because Ryan Christie came off the bench and got his 5th league goal of the season to seal the 3 points here against Hearts. So just to give you an idea of what the table is looking like at the moment, Rangers are currently top after playing an extra game, but obviously before they had played that game we were 2 points clear of them. So as I said, it's a bit closer than what I was expecting 15 games in. I have to give credit where it's due. The Scottish League has proven me wrong. I thought after how we ran away with it last season that this season it would be basically the same thing, but so far that has not proven to have been the case. But we do have a game up against Dundee United up next, which hopefully will put us back on top of the table before we get into our crucial Champions League games. So I decided to use the highlights feature for this game against Dundee United, and we also used the second team as well. I did finally create that second team sheet just to make sure that we can rotate the squad a bit more, but it was Adam Ida's day. I'll be honest lads, I think it's getting to a stage where he will become the main striker. I love Kyogo Furuhashi, he's an absolute hero at Celtic Football Club, but Adam Ida I just find gets a lot more involved. Even if he's not scoring, I just feel like I notice him more throughout the game, and that's fine. They just feel like 2 different types of players. That's completely okay, and I think that's good. But he gave us the 1-0 lead here, and it could be a case of him being in the starting 11 from now on, but watch this space. Adamita then got his second goal of the game here, but this is what I mean. Lovely turn, little bit off balance, but that's becoming a bit of a trademark finish for him now. I feel like I've scored a few goals where he's slightly lost that balance but still managed to bury it in the back of the net. That gave us a 2-0 lead with 15 minutes to go, and then with a little over 13 minutes to go, look at this, squares it, sweaty as fuck, but who cares. An Adamita hat-trick got us the 3 points. So now let's hope we can bring that form into the Champions League. Let's have a look at the league standings at the moment, just to give you an idea of where we're at. I probably should have said this at the start of the episode as well, but I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. You can probably tell by my voice. Not feeling the best, so apologies if I sound like I'm struggling to get through a sentence. Very sore throat, very stuffy nose, so I've definitely come down with something. So yeah, apologies if that's very transparent on the commentary for this episode. Hopefully I'll be better in a few days. Just trying to get that sympathy in there, you know. But speaking of sympathy, I feel like I could do with a bit of sympathy in the Champions League. 4 games in, 30th place. 1 win from 4. I can't believe I forgot to mention this at the start of the episode. I said 2 bad results in the Champions League. It was 3, and I left out the biggest one, which is where we lost 5-0 to Porto. I'm so sick that I forgot about that result. Maybe I just deleted it from my mind. But anyways, that was our most recent game of the Champions League. We've got a terrible goal difference, -9. It's not looking good, lads. This current position wouldn't be enough to get us a playoff game in the Champions League. Never mind get us through to the last 16. And remember, I said that my goal this season was quarter-final, and if we don't achieve that goal, we have to sell our 2 highest rated players. Phil Brooks, the exception to the rule. As I said, he has signed a lifetime contract, so he's going nowhere. He's loyal like that. But we are playing Slavia Praha up next, who are one of the few teams that are below us in the Champions League. They have drawn 2 and lost 2, so yet to pick up their first win in the competition so far this season. So let's hope we can get back on track here with 3 points against them in the Champions League. So this is the team that we are going to be going with. Ida does start this game. He scored a hat-trick last time out. I felt like I had to include him in this one. He is the only change from the normal starting 11. It's the strongest team other than that. I have thought about putting Christie or maybe McGregor in, but I'm going to stick with Santos. I want to try and get that growth up. It's going to be a snowy day in Glasgow, so that should be interesting. The first time we'll be playing in the snow in this career mode, and it's going to be on a Champions League night. Let's get these 3 points. We really need to start winning games in this competition. We don't have that blanket anymore of dropping down to the Europa League. Those days are over when it comes to European competitions. Once you qualify for the proper stage of European competition, that's that. You either advance or you get knocked out. No more dropping down, which, do you know what, has its pros and cons. I will say that. But here we are. The yellow lines are out. The snow is falling. Christmas is near here in Glasgow, and we could do with an early present by getting 3 points. Slavia Prague are a team that I have played quite a bit in career mode, I feel. I find that in most career modes, especially in Europe, obviously, I mean, where else would I play them? Oh, here we go. Going through brick walls again. That's becoming a regular here on the channel, a regular moment. Teleporting through that brick wall. But I feel like anytime I do a career mode, I end up getting Slavia Praha in some stage of the of whatever European competition I'm in. But there's Ida, alongside Maida and Kuhn. I don't recognise any of their players. You know what? I was going to do the full intro, but since I can't play the Champions League music, there's no point. So let's have a quick look here at Praha's team. Is there anybody here that stands out? Oh, it's Schittel. Oh god, I'm such a child. But let's see here. Anyone? I mean, they've got a good team, to be fair. Oh, Dorley. We had him shortlisted. I forgot about that. Because actually, yeah, they're in the rest of the world section as well this year as well. I forgot about that. But Dorley was someone we had shortlisted, 80 rated. Looks like he's their highest player in the squad. Yes, he is. But they've got a decent bench as well. So they're a bit closer to us than I was probably anticipating, which makes this game all the more crucial in terms of getting those 3 points. But it's not going to be easy. But when it comes to some of the other teams, or comparing them to some of the other teams that we've played in the league phase and that we're going to play in the league phase, then it's, you know, it's a game that we need to be winning, is what I'm trying to say. Bloody hell, lads, I can't string a sentence together. Oh my god, there's some sort of illness going around at the moment that probably rhymes with you know, Dovid, and I'm definitely feeling the effects of it right now. I've been miserable the last few days. Oh, and this is going to make me feel even worse here. Good save by Pullison. I need to get my head in this game. The last episode was a disaster. It was literally called Disaster Class. I can't have this one go the same. Now, we've already started this one better than the last episode. Listen, 2 wins from 2 so far. But in the Champions League, it's going to be a different challenge. Monaco have taken the lead against Chelsea. Oh, Ida, stay onside. He is onside. Adam Ida. Oh, brilliant finish. The rebel man himself, Adam Ida, gives us a lead here after a bit of a poor start. A hat-trick in the last game, the opener in this one. He's not feeling the cold at all, but that was a cold finish, let me tell you that. Smacked it past the goalkeeper, and I have to say, Adamida is somebody who I've never used in career mode before. I really want to get the most of him in this save. Bloody hell, I can't speak. His first Champions League goal of the season, though. To be fair, Furuhashi has normally started the games. Excuse me. So that's made me feel a bit better. But thankfully, we get off to a good start. A good goal-scoring start, I should say, because the performance defensively to begin this game was not so great. Oh, good block there by Phil Brooks. He ain't no punk. Well, he is, but in a different way. Dorado goes to slide in, but unfortunately, we get dispossessed. Celtic had a good win at the weekend as well, against Ross County. I saw the highlights, did not see the full game, but good to see Celtic getting a win after the Dortmund result. And hopefully in real life Celtic can, you know, get some big results in Europe. It's been a while since we've had multiple... Oh, he's offside. Since there's been multiple good results for Celtic in Europe, so I'm hoping this time round that can be the case. But they've got a tough run of games. I mean, Dortmund was probably the toughest game that they will have in the league phase. I mean, Atalanta, to be fair. I know they're not having a great season domestically at the moment, but they did win the Europa League last season, so it will be a tough one. Leipzig as well. Obviously, Villa. Also, actually, Villa might be their toughest game now that I think... I can't speak. Now that I think about it. I can't speak, lads. I can't speak. I'm so bloody ill. But thankfully, the result is not making me feel any worse. But yeah, Villa and Dortmund would be the two toughest games. But there's not really an easy game after the opening result they had, that 5-1 win. But I hope that they can get another big win. They've had many big wins in Europe against big teams over the years, Celtic. Oh, good save by Pullison. Again, though, defensively, not great. Hetate. Here's Ida. Come on, lad. Ah, too heavy a touch. Tried to get away from the defender, but the keeper's able to clear that. Well, I'll tell you what, United, only a few hours ago, at the time of recording, got a 0-0 draw away from home against Aston Villa, who did beat Bayern Munich only a few days prior. So, listen, Villa, as good as they are, could be there for the taking. Who knows? Because United lose to bloody everybody these days. But obviously that game isn't until January for Celtic, so plenty of time. But I do hope at the very least Celtic can get a playoff. It'd be nice to see Celtic play some knockout Champions League football. And I'd also like that to happen in this career mode as well. Listen, I think we definitely punched above our weight last season in this career mode. And it probably made me get ahead of myself a bit too much. Oh, he's done me there. It's a brilliant goal. I have to give them credit. But defensively, again, we're just so poor. It's shittle with the goal. He made shit of our defence. I'm such a child. I need to stop making that joke. But Carter Vickers, he sent you back to the States, lad. What are you doing? God, that manager's hairline. Oh my goodness me, look at that bald patch on the back of his head. The stress of management is affecting both sides of his hair. You hate to see it. And another thing you hate to see is Slavia Praha equalising here at Celtic Park. And it is times like this I wish I could drop down to the Europa League, because remember at the start of this season it said that the objective was to get to the group stage, and I was like, first of all, it's not called the group stage anymore, it's called the league phase. Hold that thought. Oh, never mind. So that was, you know, something that EA haven't updated as we reach the halftime break here. But secondly, if we did have to play qualifiers and we did end up getting knocked out, there was a bit of a redemption story there. The 2003 UEFA Cup final. Obviously the UEFA Cup, now known as the Europa League. Is there any changes I want to make? Yes, there actually is. I want to bring on Ryan Christie. Feel like that he's a bit more of a goal scoring threat than Santos at the moment. So that would have been, you know, kind of cool. And I kind of wish that there was that option to drop down to the Europa League, but unfortunately not. But listen, if we don't win the league this year, we might have to play Europa League football. But I'm still confident that we will get the job done in the league. 100%. Here's Christie. Over to Hatate. Now Sessegnon. Maida. Lovely football. Lovely finish. And we are back in front. Brilliant start to this second half. And Maida is at it again. I tell you what, lads, he is obviously a cult hero at Celtic anyways, but in this career mode and on this channel, I feel like Maida is going to be one of these players that we talk about for quite a long time. We've had a few of those players over the years. I know a lot of you are new to the channel, but I think Kutcha was one of those players in the Turl United career mode. Carlos Soler in the same career mode. Who else? Who else has been there? Turl obviously is a legend. JJ is a legend. Cullen and Fat Gorilla are legends. We've had some interesting players on this career mode. If you know, you know, with Fat Gorilla. That's a story I'll probably tell for new subscribers down the line. We might reintroduce him to a new series at some stage. Maybe not in this game, but maybe in the next one. We'll see. But we've had a few cult heroes over the years. And we've got a few of them here at Celtic. I definitely think Maida is going to be one of them. And he's given us the lead here in the Champions League. Oh, Christie. Loses the ball there though. It'll be interesting as well to see how much the transfer budget is going to go up as well in this career mode. That's something as well that I've been quite intrigued about. Because we're not in the Premier League, so we're not going to have that big money coming in every year. Good save by Pullison. This is not a very convincing performance despite the fact that we have the lead. And as I said, lads, we still have some tough games in this league phase. Much more tough than Slavia Praha, with all due respect to our current opposition. But they've equalised again. And it is 2-2. I thought I had a clever analogy in my head there, but I'm going to let it slide. I've made fun of this man's name enough, and I need to start learning my lesson that when I make fun of people on this channel, it normally comes back to bite me. And he's come back to bite me twice here. It's 2-2, 25 minutes to go. Not been a great performance. It's making me feel worse than I already bloody did. Kuhn going on a surging run here. Can he hold on to it? Yes, he can. Oh, it's a good save by the keeper. Can Johnston regain possession? No, he can't. Or retain possession, I should have said. And they're going to go on the break here again, it looks like, Slavia. Good tackle. Carter Vickers. No, that wasn't Carter Vickers, that was Dorado. Here's Punk. Come on, Phil. Go on, Phil. Oh my god. Phil Brooks. He's the cult of personality. The defence went to sleep. And Phil Brooks has scored his first Champions League goal, and I'm finally going to break out into the chant I've been wanting to break out into since we started this career mode. CM Punk! CM Punk! CM Punk! That really hurt my throat, I won't lie. That might not have been the smartest decision I've ever made. But it was a brilliant run from the defender. He had them in a vice of sorts. You could almost call it an anaconda vice. They went to sleep, and Punk was there to punish them. He's young, he's energetic, and he works with adults. And you can see that it's getting the best out of him. Here's Hatate. Come on. Ida. Let's get this fourth. Adam Ida! Oh, I tell you what. Excuse me. Oh my god, I'm choking over here. But I tell you what's not choking at the moment is our attack. Ida with his second goal of the game. 5 goals in his last 2 appearances. He's put us 4-2 up here. And I tell you what, that's probably the time to make some changes. He is a little bit tired. Let's try and get a bit more energy in this defence as well. Scales can come on. Valet can come on. Anyone else I want to bring on? Let's bring on McGregor for Dorado. But Ida has doubled the lead here with his second of the game. And I do think, lads, I'm going to make that decision. Adam Ida is going to go into the first team, into the starting 11, I mean. Time is on his side as well. He's only 24, 77 rated. Been one of my favourite players to use so far in this game. I don't know if you heard that, but there was a big explosion there outside, and it nearly made me leap out of my seat. I live near a lot of fields, so a lot of the time you'll hear like what sounds like a gunshot, but it's that thing to get all like the birds away from the fields, and it always scares the crap out of me. So yeah, sorry if that also gave you a fright. But we're 5 minutes away from getting our second win in the Champions League. Here's McGregor. Over to Furuhashi. Oh, but I tell you what, Ida might be the main man up front now, but Kyogo still has a lot to offer when he comes off the bench. It's 5-2. It's 3 points here. It's a huge win in the Champions League. Kyogo Furuhashi puts it in, and I tell you what, lads, I'm just going to jump to result. I need to stop recording here for just for a little bit to give my voice a bit of a break, because I feel like if I keep going, this episode is not going to go out when I want it to go out. So yeah, 5-2 here. I'll let you know if there's any more goals in the next recording. Right, that game did end 5-2, just so that you're aware. I've had a lie down, I've drank plenty of water, I feel a lot better. I apologise for that shit show there in the last recording, but I've left this recording late enough as it is, and I did promise there would be an episode every day leading up to Thursday. Don't want to go back on that promise, but yeah. The illness has hit me hard. I'm down with the sickness. If you know, you know. But anyways, St. Johnstone up next in the league. Let's give this one a quick sim. Can we get another 3 points? No, we can't. It's 2-2. And I tell you what, lads, this title race is way too close for comfort. Santos got the first goal. Maida put us back in front. But they did get an equaliser less than 10 minutes later. And the title race, I tell you what, it's anyone's title to win at this stage. Not what I was expecting coming into this campaign. Hopefully, though, we go back to winning ways here against Hibs. Adam Ida getting the opening goal of the game. Great ball by Santos as well. I played him on the other side of midfield today, Santos, and he was absolutely fantastic. Arguably his best performance in a Celtic shirt so far. So that could be his future in the team, is playing on the left side of that midfield. But Ida, I have included him in the main starting 11 now. He's in the default squad, and he is living up to that task at the moment by banging in the goals. That was his 10th league goal of the season. Then I concede this stupid goal where I thought I had the game paused because my phone started ringing. The game didn't pause, and next thing I knew it was 1-1. Now that's a bad enough error, but watch this. Watch this. It doesn't lead to a goal, but you need to see this to believe it. Pullison goes to clear it. It hits his hand, goes right into the path of Campbell, who somehow doesn't get it on target. Pullison is a lucky boy, because the hairdryer would have been out in full force at half time had that led to a second goal for Hibs. But thankfully it didn't, and we were able to get our second goal. Ryan Christie, a brilliant surging run here. Look at this for a finish as well, right into the top corner. He's well capable of that. He may not start every game now, Christie, but I do consider him quite an important player. And I tell you what though, I did like the Christie and Santos combination in midfield. So as much as I love Hatate, that might be something I'll need to try a bit more as this career mode progresses. Adam Ida, though, right before half-time, gave us a third. Brilliant ball into Christie, who scored the second goal, linking up with the player who scored the first goal to score the third goal. You love to see that. Speaking of Andre Santos, he got in on the act as well. Kuhn's shot was saved, but terrible palm out there by the keeper as Santos slotted it home to put us 4-1 up. And then Kyogo Furuhashi off the bench. I tell you what, I feel like Furuhashi is doing better when he comes on as a sub in this career mode. But listen, even though I want to include Ida in the team more as this season and this series progresses, Furuhashi, of course, is still a very important player in this team. And he came on to get the fifth goal. And unfortunately, after that, we did leave in another one. Dylan Vente, however you say it, squeezing that one past Pullison. Bit of a poor goal to concede. You should be saving that at your near post, but whatever. It's 3 points and it's a comfortable win as well. You know what, lads? Initially, I was going to play this next game here on this episode against Athens, but I'll be honest with you, I am very quickly starting to fade away. I am definitely after coming down with something that is quite rampant at the moment. It might rhyme with Dovid. I've already made that joke. And also, I don't know why I'm being so secretive about it. It's probably COVID. It's definitely spreading its ugly head again at the moment, and I've got this pounding headache. I've got a sore throat. I can barely look at the screen without my eyes watering up. It's not a very fun time for me at the moment. So in the next episode, we will begin things with this game against Athens in the Champions League, away from home. They are below us in the table, I believe. Where are they? There they are, in 27th. So again, it's a game that we should be favourites for. We are currently in a position that if it were to end like this, it would get us through to the next round of the Champions League, or a playoff round, I should say, which... Listen, it's not as good as last season, but it's better than getting knocked out altogether. So hopefully we can get that win there, because the next two Champions League games after that are against two very, very difficult opponents. So stay tuned for that. In terms of the league, if we just scroll over here a bit, we are top of the league by 3 points now. So Rangers must have dropped points since we last checked the table. I'm still surprised though at how close it is. Our goal difference is quite healthy though, so at least we have that going for us. We're banging in the goals left, right and centre. Still conceding a few too many for my liking though, so that's something that we definitely need to work on. But lads, that will do it for this episode. I really, really hope that you enjoyed it despite me not being able to string a sentence together. Tomorrow, I promise it'll be much better. Do give the video a like if you did enjoy it though, and consider subscribing to the channel, and I will talk to you all in the next one. Take care.